Hey guys, Mark from Gunpla Network here. Welcome to my review of the GN003 Gundam Kyrios. Here you can see it in a pose that I had in the preview. It's got its claw, it's got its open facing hand, and I've left the beam machine gun out for now. There's the beam machine gun with the hand still attached. And that's pretty much it for accessories. That's really all you've got with this guy. Color accuracy was pretty good, except for this big sticker sheet here. Now there should be GN drives. The waist unit is those big red stickers, unfortunately. I'll paint that, that's why I haven't put them on. This big green sticker you can see here is for the underside of the bigger piece, which is the cockpit cover, I guess. It's like a one-way green glass. Also will paint on. The GN drives are black, unlike X here, which are green. I think Dynamis had the same stickers. The green part or grey parts are for the front of the legs and the backs of the forearms there, the blocky grey looking ones, which is, I guess, power cable converters, something like that. Overall, a big sticker sheet, and there is lots of painting to do on this kit to get it anime colour accurate, such as the tops of the shoulders and stuff, which I'll point out here. You can see in the guide it shows you that they are a dark, I guess a metal colour or something like that, and they're just not on the kit, they're just white. So like the back of the orange part there shows a beam saber hidden. You can see the beam saber there next to the leg of the stand holding it, and that's just not dark like shown in the guide. So there is a fair amount, and like on the wing piece here flying off the knee is actually meant to be dark in there, and the vents on the underside of the front skirt. Let's grab him off the stand now for some articulation. Overall, getting this guy to stand on his own was a bit of a pain. He's much more suited and at home being on an action base, so I highly recommend getting one of those if you have this kit, particularly if you're going to display in flight form like I will. The Kyrios is a high-speed transformable mobile suit designed for high-speed combat, so it has an MS form and a flight form. In the MS form you see here, this is meant for MS direct combat, and the flight form, which I'll show you the transformation later to, is obviously for the high-speed hit-and-run bombing that you see him doing in the series. Now, the head. That sticker there was a bit of a pain to get on for the eyes. Tweezers and a cotton bud. Take your time. The head will go all the way forward, all the way back on its peg that it has. You can go side to side a little, but you actually can't turn it further than that because his chin hits the side parts which hold the fins. In terms of arm articulation, there is a pretty good joint there. It will rotate forward a little, come out. The vent moves on the front chest as you see with most 00 kits. Spins all the way around, not a problem, despite the big wing binder. It'll move in and out a little bit with that that shoulder articulation. You'll get a good bend out of the elbow. There's a wing on the back which does spin around. That's just on a little peg. There's not really much in the waist. Side to side, the waist will hit the crotch piece cover at the front, so you're going to be able to spin around. Front skirts, I actually separated the internal part there. That's just two balls you can cut and they lock in place. It will be a little looser. Back skirt, no articulation whatsoever. Legs, you can go up, but you will find yourself, the wing will hit the front of the body, and you can move that forward and then get a little bit more up, but you'll hit the front skirt. The knee will bend all the way back until you hit the back skirt. And then as you rotate backwards, you will find that the leg just hits that immovable back skirt, so you're not going to get very far out of there. As I said though guys, he's more at home on an action base. The foot has a decent amount of movement, but what I found was when I was trying to get him to stand evenly, it was a bit of a pain. So once again, action base required. You will get some good movement out of that ankle because it's part of the transformation system into flight form. So here we are, we've got the beam machine gun with a hand attached. We've got the shield claw, much like the Sandrock I just reviewed. Very cool. So that piece locks into there, which also locks onto the arm. It kind of looks like a scarab. So that rotates around there like that. This rotates around to join it, and what you'll find is it actually does bend a little forward and back, so there is some articulation in the claw. This piece meets up with, as you can see, the little tab which will insert to lock the shield like that, and there you go. This shield's actually pretty detailed in terms of lineage. This will now lock onto the back of that arm or the other arm, either way. I am going to try the transformation, guys, live for you here now, so see how we go. I hadn't actually attempted this before the video. I was just kind of hoping that it wouldn't be as difficult as it looked in the book. So first step is raise up the skirts, remove the legs, Now you have to bring these tabs up so that they can lock onto the side of the cockpit for the shoulders, but I suggest using a hobby knife or something pointy because they are just very finicky and I could not get them without it, particularly wearing these gloves. Now for the waist joint, there is a block piece that comes with it, as with most HG transformable mobile suits, such as the Age 2. This is a parts format, so you put this waist piece in, and this is how the legs connect on. Absolutely amazing looking fighter style Gundam, guys. As I said, Kyrios is probably second in my transformable Gundams guide, next to the Age 2. The rifle will now bolt in. You might have wondered during the build why you had a round hole next to the square peg hole for the hilt. It connects up to the underside of the arm there, which was that guard that we clipped on. And there you go. That actually has a little articulation in it, so the rifle could be pointed outwards, not just a straight fighter, I guess. These orange parts now fold back. And the shield also bolts onto the side. Now, I'm not 100% happy with the look of the design that way. The shield does look just a little bit tacked on, and it could have been better integrated closer to the body. Just grab your hobby knife and flick up the extra fins which were on the underside of the cockpit, which is flipped over. And you can see that big black area. It should have a green sticker on it, but I'll paint that eventually. There we go. So he's even got his V fin when he's in flight form. Here we have him up on an action base. Like I said, whether it's MS or flight form, it will definitely benefit from having this stand. This is an action base 5, I think. I've got him pointed down in kind of a diving stance. You could have it up, flat, whatever. And this is the leftover parts. You're left with a couple of hands, a crotch cover for where the stand goes in. And that's about it. It is an amazing looking suit. I dig the orange. It doesn't really fit many MS's. Here we have him flying next to my painted up Age 2 Magnum from High Grade Build Divers that I reviewed earlier in the year, or late last year. And you can probably see the very similar the terms of the flight forms. Mobile suits that have an MS form, a flight form, high speed combat. And just the way that they transform if you watch my transformation of this kit. Now this is painted up. I did this kind of a naval stealth, looking style. Obviously doesn't have the fancy effect parts on Kyrios, but still a great looking kit. White, black and orange. And here they all are together, the trio that I've collected so far. Well, that brings me to the end of the review, guys. And as you can see, for a high grade, very cheap, 1500 yen. Pretty good looking kit. Next to the RG, it will appear a bit more plain. As you can tell, I've painted my HG Dynames. So if you give Kyrios a similar treatment, it'll be fantastic. Alright guys, thanks for joining me for this review. This is definitely a buy in my opinion. If you like high grade Gundams, and if you love 00, then this is a winner for you. It does require a little bit of work with either the stickers or without, but in my opinion, well worth it. Alright, thanks for joining me guys. Big thanks to Hobbyco for supporting the videos, and I'll catch you on the next time. Keep building. Bye.